welcome to the channel. Like, share, and subscribe, please. I'm going to be reacting to these crazy people. That's the only way I can explain it. Let's go.
This may come as a surprise to you, but I rarely get misgendered by children, especially because when I'm out
As long as you're calling yourself a man, no, you're not getting misgendered at all. Definitely a dude.
and about, like, in the world, I always have a mask on. So, like, you would think I'm a lady, which makes me feel a lot better than being called a man. And so
These people who believe they're a man if they're a woman, or a woman if they're a man, it's a mental illness. People who have schizophrenia, we don't say, yeah, the clock is talking to you. We also should not tell these people, yeah, you're a man, you're a woman. It's causing more harm than good.
sometimes kids will say that because they see the long hair. And even if a child did misgender me, I would not blame the child because they don't understand the ramifications of their...
If a kid misgenders you, it's probably because you're a dude. That's what they see. They're not all into these politics where you must call this person and preferred pronouns and all this crap. Listen to them.
actions. I would absolutely blame the parent. Why the fuck are you raising your child in a binary that's going to oppress them and everybody
No, because it is binary. Male, female.
else? Like, I don't understand, like, why we're clinging to these archaic ideas about gender and why we're perpetuating them and thrusting them upon kids. Like, your kid will probably be some version of queer. Anyway,
This is...
Sorry to go back. Being queer, or gay, or lesbian, bisexual, it's not transgender. Quit piggybacking off of them.
This is definitely a video that's going to be hard to do. But you are right, it is on a system-by-system basis. In my system, yes, I would consider that cheating. However, I have seen systems that have had multiple partners.
Nope. Man and woman together, or even woman and woman, guy and guy. Okay, do that. Be a couple. Once you start going multiple partners, you have no love for the person you're supposed to be with. I don't like this lady, and she looks like a Ninja Turtle.
But it's that specific altar that has the partner. So mind-wise, they are a one-person relationship. Sorry, I can't remember the word for it. But their body would technically be a multi-relationship, or
Also, mental illness. If you have multiple personalities, illness. Stop pretending it's okay.
polyamorous, I think it's called. So, like, if you actually really think about it, the mind is dating different people because there are different people. But since there's only one body, that one body is being shared throughout the rest of those people. And I'm not
You think it's
there's
okay?
anything wrong with that. Like, that's your business. Go for it. Get it. Do what makes you happy and the rest of your system's happy. I meant to say alters. The point being, though, is don't bash on people that want to have multiple relationships because they have multiple alters.
Why not?
It is different for each individual person, which is what makes questions like these hard to answer.
I think my most toxic trait is that I want to befriend Republicans so that they can have a trans friend, and then
Also, we must quit dividing each other. Republican, Democrat. Stop.
when they get pregnant or have a baby, I want them to invite me to the gender reveal party
And I'm not sure, male or female, your guess is as good as mine.
and convince them that being the way I became trans is like a witch came up to me, a transgender witch came up to me and like forced me to be transgender, and then I'm gonna like put my hand on the stomach before they pop the fucking balloon at the gender reveal party, and I'm gonna go,
So everybody knows the movie Ring. Tell me, bigger version? Yes? No? I don't know, but I'm going with it. Hey.
your baby is half transgender. I want to do it so bad. I want every old lady there to keel over and die, have a heart attack. Ugh, sounds like so much fun.
Wait, where's the eyebrows? None?
A girl can dream.
Hi friends, my name is Reed and I use
Hi, friends! No.
he, her pronouns. And so I thought I would share a little bit about how per, pers pronouns work. So per is a neo-pronoun that comes from the word person, which is why I really like him. The objective form of per is...
Okay. Per. This is the first time I've heard of this. I knew him, her, she, he. I even heard of Z and Zer. I heard those. But now it's per, P, whatever the crap it is. They're inventing them every day. How are we supposed to keep up with them? And then if we don't say the right pronoun, it's hate speech. But yet they're being invented by the day. So how's this going to work?
per. The subjective is per, possessive adjective and the possessive pronoun is pers, and the reflective is per self. So my dog uses she, her pronouns if she's not here right now. But if she was, this is how I would introduce Rosie to you if she uses per, pers pronouns. So I would say, hi everyone, meet Rosie. Per asked me to introduce per to you since per can't do it per self. Right now, per is on my
No.
bed because per thinks it's pers. Does that help? I hope it helps. So let me know if you want any other explanation and on per, pers pronouns, and I'll do my best. Guys, thank you so much for this question. I really appreciate it. And yeah, and I use he, per pronouns interchangeably. So yeah. So you would say,
We must quit playing pretend with these adults.
hey, have you met Reed? He's really nice. I really like being friends with Per.
I have never, and I will never use the word transspecies because transspecies people don't exist. That ain't a fucking thing. Therians.
Why not? There's trans whatever you are. Why can't I be a trans dog? Why can't I identify as a dog?
Are not transspecies. We are not transitioning to another species.
Nope, I'm a dog. Ruff ruff.
It is a spiritual identity where we believe that at heart, or in a past life, we were an animal. We do not transition. We don't believe that we're actually that animal. We believe that
I'm so
spiritually
confused.
we are.
Are
and
you?
We do experience dysphoria and euphoria. That's why it's comparable. As a transtherian, it is to an extent comparable. We just
Sorry.
do not
I
transition,
don't know.
but our identities are still valid and should be respected. Also, a fuck ton of people, myself included, have genders that align with animals, because we're non-binary. Like, I'm cat.
That makes sense, right? This is what we're being asked to acknowledge.
I'm still really emotional about that video because this year alone I have 3 transgender students who...
So this is a teacher. Let's remember this. I haven't watched it yet, but I believe it's going to be good.
The reason why I'm getting emotional is because if I contact home or anyone outside of my classroom about these students, I have to use their dead name and their assigned at birth pronouns and stuff because it's not safe for them to be out or their parents have
Let's think about this. I guarantee she's some sort of transgender something or another. I wonder if she's projecting this on these children, and this is why they identify this way. And now she's turning it out and making it feel like the parents are doing wrong because what they call them. But yet she's projecting. Let's stop this. You must talk to the teachers of your children to figure out what they believe. Or else you're going to have projection on your children to think like this.
refuse to accept them. And the reason why they told me
Like, some of them, the only reason why they're out in my classroom, they're not even out in other classrooms, is because they saw my they them mug and my they them pens.
Told you.
And so it's really emotional.
So I'm here to clarify and speak some truth about what's happening with.
Also, I have a question. What's up with all the hair color? Like, why, when you're transgender or whatever, why do they think they have to dye their hair pink, purple, blue, green, hot, fucking whatever? Why?
Gender affirming care in adolescence. Most of the bills that are going through right now aim to limit this care for people under the age of 18. And there's this false narrative that a lot of teenagers are having gender affirming surgery. Most of the teenagers that are having surgery are getting chest surgery, and most of that is happening before 18 because these individuals didn't have access to early enough medical treatment.
What he's saying is they want to start little children on puberty blockers. This is what people use to chemically castrate sex offenders. This is what he's talking about. We must stop. Just because you're afraid to be labeled something, we can't let this go on with our children.
So using surgery as sort of this false narrative to attack gender affirming care as a whole is not correct. The truth is that by limiting access to medical care with some of these bills, you're actually going to cause more people to need gender affirming surgical care in the future.
I'm a teacher in a very conservative state, and so sometimes students ask me, why do I have that pride flag? And to me, that's the most important part of my classroom.
We send our children to school to learn stuff that's going to help them in the future. Math, language, social studies, science. We don't need your preferences to be displayed in class. We don't.
I'm not LGBTQ. I'm totally straight, married to a man. But I need my students to know that they are safe and they are loved here without making a big deal about it.
We don't need preferences.
Like a big conversation. So by having
then don't put it up there. It won't be a conversation.
A little flag at the front of my room, I can communicate to them that I support them and that this is a safe place for them where they can focus on learning. And that means everything to me. And if a student has a problem with it, then they can find a different teacher.
The suicide prevention program provided students a depression assessment, claiming to be a paper survey kept secured in a locked filing cabinet. Paper forms were not used, and nothing was locked in a filing cabinet. Instead, students used their ID number to log into a platform to enter sensitive information regarding their mental health. This platform is controlled by an outside party, not Olentangy. Mental health information stored by a third party on an outside server risks data leaks that could impact a student's future employability and their insurability. My 12-year-old child was surveyed electronically to provide his pronouns. By default was asking him how he identifies sexually. He was 12. I did not know or give written permission or consent for this electronic survey. This violates the Protection of People Rights Amendment. Sadly, the biggest violation is the...
And they say they're not pushing this on our children. What is this then? Preferred pronouns? How do you identify? That is we have boys and girls. They won't sit here and say, I'm a blender gender, unless somebody pushes this on them. And then they become blender gender and whatever the crap else there is. I'll get used to all these pronouns and different genders, and we'll talk about it, but this is what I'm talking about. We must protect our children.
The violation of our trust as parents and taxpayers. We trust you to develop our children academically and leave the rest to us.
Thank you. I'm going to read you an assignment given to my 15-year-old daughter at a local high school. This will be horrifying for me to read to you, but that will give you perspective on how she must have felt when her teacher required her to memorize this and to act it out in front of her entire class. I don't love you. It's not you. It's just, I don't like your, or any in that case. I cheated, Joe.
I'm sorry. Forgive me. Excuse me. I don't. Thank you so much for your. Thank you for your. Forgive me. We're not using profanity. Are you?
So, they don't want her to use the words that the child is learning about and reading. This is what they're saying. We can't say it in here, but our children can learn it. This is the problem.
Okay.
The teacher
This
required my daughter to memorize this and read this pornographic material.
Excuse me. Please don't engage with the audience.
Okay. Sorry,
So
it's my
please
first time
continue your
here.
public comment. Your time is. You've got 1 minute and 19 seconds. I ask you simply. This is a public meeting. I ask for decorum, and I'm asking. Dr. Jara. Thank you so much, Dr. Jara.
If you don't want me to read it to you, what was that like for my 15-year-old daughter to have to memorize
Exactly.
pornographic material and memorize it and
Parents, get involved.
Madam President, members of the board, stats on this, we can have the regional superintendent speak.
An investigation into 3 Kiel middle school students has been launched.
The school district has filed a Title IX complaint accusing the students of using incorrect pronouns while addressing another student. Fox 11's Monique Lopez spoke with the parent of one of the students in this Project Education report.
We must end this.
I received a phone call from the principal over at the elementary school.
When you go to vote, you must find out if the person you're voting for supports this type of stuff. If you do, vote against them. We must vote people out. We must protect our children from this. They're being investigated for using the wrong pronouns. This is where we're at. We have school shootings. They didn't get investigated before that. People talked about shooting before they shot. No investigation, but investigating for proper pronouns. We must stop it.
Forewarning me, letting me know that I was going to be receiving an email with sexual harassment allegations against my son.
Rosemary Rabideau's 13-year-old son, Braden, is one of the 3 8th-grade Kiel Middle School students accused of sexual harassment, something she disputes.
He's being allegedly charged with sexual harassment for not using proper pronouns. I thought it wasn't real.
And let's say if he does get charged with that, he has a record of sexual harassment for not using a proper pronoun. No. I don't accept it.
Thought this has got to be dead. One has nothing to do with the other.
According to the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty, or WILL, now defending the accused students, in March, one of their peers announced the pronouns they prefer to be addressed as, they or them. One of the alleged incidents Braden and the others were supposedly involved in happened in April.
She had been screaming at one of Braden's friends to use proper pronouns.